Every 7 people in England class themselves as white British. So our Anglo-Saxon man doesn't look in danger of disappearing quite yet. Anna.
Jason, thank you. Well, it may be predominantly British, but one of England's most multicultural cities is divided over its hero. Leicester is the city we're talking about, and they are divided over Mahatma Gandhi and Gary Lineker. Well, plans to erect a statue of Gandhi have angered some residents who feel that a local hero such as Lineker is the person who should be honoured. Well, let's talk more about that. Let's talk to Lee Ingram, who started an anti-Gandhi statue petition, and Keith Vaz, local MP, who's for the statue. Lee Ingram, let's start with you. It's a dilemma, certainly, isn't it? But are you a one-man campaign, or have you got much support?
Yeah, there's much support. There was over 500 signatures on the petition that I set up, and just under 1,000 signatures on another petition that was set up.
What have you got against the Gandhi statue?
Just that it's no connection to England and an English society.
OK, Keith Vaz, what do you make about that? Plenty of Gandhi statues in India. Why does Leicester need one?
Well, Lee is perfectly entitled to his opinion and put forward the suggestions that he has that there should be other statues, and I'm fully in support of other memorials to other people. But I think that Leicester is a world-class city, and there are many people from Leicester who originally come from India, so there is that connection. But also, as a world-class city, why is it not possible for us to have a statue to an international leader whose philosophy is something that is truly relevant to the lives of people all over the world? You don't have to particularly come from a country or a particular town or city in order to be honoured in a particular way. So I'm not against having a statue to Gary Lineker if people want one. I think I've written to Gary, and he said he backs the Gandhi statue because of the multicultural nature of Leicester. The trouble with the statue for him, as he said to me, is that it might cost too much because his ears are too big. But apart from that, I'm all for having local heroes honoured in the same way.
Keith Vaz, he's being humble, you know he is. But Lee Ingram, what about that point? Leicester does indeed have a sizable Asian population. What are you afraid of? Can't both cultures be supported here?
Yeah, firstly, there's been no call for a Gary Lineker statue. There's no petitions in favour of that. It's just that some local people suggested if you're going to have a statue, then wouldn't it be common sense to have a local person, i.e. Gary Lineker? The whole issue here is that Keith Vaz and this charity has gone against the public opinion in Leicester, which is a majority against, i.e. 500 plus people signing my petition, just about 1,000 people signing the Downing Street petition, and around 4,000 members of a Facebook group on the internet against it. And now these are overwhelming majority of English people, and actually some people from the Asian community as well, that are against this statue. Keith Vaz has just ignored the majority of public opinion.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get at why they're sorry to interrupt you, Keith Vaz. Okay. Why they're against it? Are you concerned it's going to be some sort of symbol of segregation? Are you concerned? Because Leicester, I know, is tipped to be the first white minority city in the UK in just over a decade's time. Is there a sense of pressure amongst the white population in Leicester?
I think there's a lot of tensions, and I think something like that has just touched a nerve. I mean, everyone's very concerned of mass immigration, and I think I'm concerned that people will, look at it as a sign of mass immigration, if you like. People are just targeting anything that touches that nerve, sort of thing, and I think that this statue has touched that nerve.
Yeah, I mean, that is the danger, isn't it, Keith Vaz? Gandhi was Indian, he's of historical significance to India, not necessarily to Leicester, and he could end up being a symbol of segregation.
No, and I think it's a false argument. Just because we put up a statue of Mahatma Gandhi will not mean that we're going to have mass immigration coming to Leicester. The fact is, thousands of people have signed a petition in support of the statue. It's gone through the democratic process. I think Lee is perfectly entitled, with the thousands of people who don't live in Leicester, who've signed the Facebook petition and the other petitions. They're entitled to their views, but the fact is it's important that we recognise that the country has moved on since 40 years ago in Enoch Powell's speech, and that communities can have their own heroes, be they local heroes or international heroes. And I think that is something that we should recognise as a country. This is a wonderful, tolerant country, and I think the way in which the campaign has been conducted for the statue which is actually going to be paid for by individuals. It's not going to be paid for by the taxpayer. The fact is, it's been conducted well. Lots of people have been involved in the debate. The council has made a decision. We look forward to the statue being erected and then unveiled. And I think when it's there, I'm going to take Lee Ingram down to look at the statue.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, let's see what the planners decide. OK, Keith Vaz, thanks very much indeed, and also to Lee Ingram, whose petition will no doubt continue. What would the planners decide about that? A 12-foot statue of Mahatma Gandhi, or maybe Gary Lineker? Not that there are plans for a statue of that. Lots more to come throughout our day on our disunited kingdom. Back to Chris.
Thank you, Anna. This is